Flooding the market, a break from the garbage. An artist, sensitive about mind pardon. No margin for error, flawless be bearer. The black cat goddess, you walking with a panther. Painting these pictures with words like Samantha, MacGyver. Alchemy on the track, make it lava. And I won't stop rocking till I retire. Singular or plural, she break numero uno. Colder than you.
It's your girl, Madam Money, aka Trap, and welcome to the official Sorting Game album review of Benny the Butcher and Harry Fraud's The Plugs I Met 2. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get it. Now, we just seen Harry Fraud come off of an amazing project with Jim Jones, The Fraud Department. Dope project. The review is on the channel. Make sure you check it out. Benny is still riding really strong with the Burden of Proof project he did with Hit Boy at the end of last year. Really just dope music all around. I got a couple issues here. You know what I mean? You know how I start these joints off that I really can't even begin to get into a project without just airing out some of my grievances. You feel me? Now, it's weird to me because I listened to the Fraud Department so much since it came out. And I'm listening to this since it came out. So I'm on about maybe my fourth listen. I ain't gonna hold you. I really don't know, like, if this was, like, as organic as it could have been. If you understand what I'm saying with this is what I'm saying with that. So before I just, you know what I mean, just do every and anything that I'm about to do on here, because some of y'all niggas about to get served on this joint. Straight up. This could have been a more organic project. Okay? But let's get into it. First track straight off the rip, When Tony Met Sosa. Really dope intro, dope way to start off the project. Harry Fraud, he usually shows off his strong points when he opens up a project. So I thought that this was going to be like, I thought it was going to be a bigger sound, a bigger thing. But it's this laid back approach. And I had to think about, you know, okay, The Plugs I Met 2. So coming off of, like, The Plugs I Met 1, which is like a hood classic to everybody, from the features, beat selections, you know, beats on there from The Alchemist, Derringer, DJ Shay opens up that project with Crowns for Kings or whatever have you. So, you know, I always want to try to see if we could get that same level of intensity across a series. Now, even though a lot of y'all was talking about just looking at the track listing on here and was doubting all the features in comparison to Plugs I Met 1, you know, if you think about it in the right way, and you have the Plugs I Met 1, so that's like, you know, he has on there Black Thought, 38 Special, Jadakiss, Pusha T, you feel me, RJ Payne, all these people on there. What did you expect? Like, what level of, like, without it being the same fucking album over again, how can he take it to the next level on here? And it's through the features. So I'm not really a fan of him deciding to use an executive producer for this project, though. I'm gonna repeat that. You feel me? Because the mix of beats we got on Plugs I Met 1 was just so dope and really in Benny's lane that this, I don't know. But we're going to get back into this, right? So, When Tony Met Sosa, Benny's spitting all the while, so it doesn't even matter. My heroes in federal sweatsuits and New Balances, you feel me? And, you know, just kind of giving you that Scarface theme. You hear, like, you know, sound-wise and stuff that just still staying in that respects when it comes down to, you know, just overall theme of this. Like, this is crazy. Next track on here is called Overall, featuring Chinx Drugz. R.I.P. Chinx Drugz. Squad Up. You feel me? Him and Stack Bundles. Like, this is like these are like two of my favorite artists that got just taken away from us before their time. So this is the part of this whole thing where I see you guys comment on the features on here. It was not mentioning Chinx Drugz. Was not happy to see this man's name on work in 2020. Don't understand how much him, Chinx Drugz, Harry Fraud, and French Montana actually worked together in the past. So to just get a fucking verse from Chinx Drugz in 2021 should have just shut all of y'all the fuck up. But nobody mentioned it. Nobody mentioning it. Period. And I'm really sick of this. Because a lot of y'all out here fraudulent fucking hip-hop historians don't know who Chinx is, didn't take the time out to look it up, or none of that. You're not outside. You're too young. But y'all know who 2 Chainz is to fucking slander his name like he can't spit. Y'all know who French Montana is to be out here rightfully so slandering his name too. And I'm gonna call y'all a bunch of dick riders in a second when we get down to that track. All right? This beat is crazy to me. All right? Really, really crazy. It's like 3 parts to the beat. Benny comes on first, Chinks is on the hook, and Chink closes out the record. But it's these interlude parts in there where the beat itself is smooth, but that first interlude is really, really aggressive. It comes with a real aggressive into Benny's second verse. And then when Chinks come on the third verse, that interlude beat switches in here. It's like this really, like, you know, riding type, funk type vibe going on here, all staying really in that same lane of that smooth beat that we heard first and foremost on here. Really, really dope production on this track. Really, really just nice to see Chinks Drugs on here. He said, I've been a savage, so they throw the digits at me. These niggas want to win, but don't know the business, daddy. Like, you understand? This is just his swag he had. It's so crazy what we do to ourselves sometimes. Like, dog, like, he is sorely missed by me. You feel me? Squad up. Let's go. Next track on here, Plug Talk featuring 2 Chainz. All right, and this is like an airy beat. You feel me? I don't not really know the sample on here, but this is a real airy beat that's on here. 2 Chainz coming in on this verse with the number play 21, 22, 23, 24, coming to 25. He makes a lot of references to other tracks he's been on in here. One of which, Happy Birthday I tell him Happy Birthday on the wrong day. You know, all I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe. That's why he's saying that. Crazy stuff though. Is this a strong verse from 2 Chainz? Kinda. Could have been stronger? Yes, I think so. I think it could have been stronger, but nonetheless, have no problem with the track Plug Talk. You feel me? Next track on here is Live By It. And when I tell you Benny is talking to you on this track, he is talking to you. He is talking to you. And this is the kind of thing that I find it similar with Benny. Like, he's coming to like a second part of his career, like a second half of his career, where a lot of people are only familiar with the second half of this career. So if you came into knowledge of Benny off of Burden of Proof, right? And you go into this project, you will understand that this man is talking to you. Like, he understands the wrongs he's done in his life. He's trying to make you avoid that. At the same time, being very braggadocious that he does these things, but he's talking to you. Track Live By It. He is talking to you. Now, this might be a clash of styles for me. This might be just a clash on production versus bars for me. And I like the track, but I don't think what he's saying is coming across as strong as it could because the beat is not backing him up. You understand what I'm saying to you on that? Now, he's saying some hot shit on here. You feel me? Like, just dope shit. Street niggas won't outlive their grandparents. You feel me? Guns on tour buses is usually the rappers and all of these things. He's speaking to you on here, but this is where the 2 styles of Harry Fraud and Benny the Butcher kind of clash for me. You feel me? I think if it was a more just that thing that we always get from Benny, this thing would be a more impactful type of track on here, which, you know, real niggas is gonna disregard the beat and they're gonna see what he's saying here. But you feel me, casual listeners, I think they're gonna get lost on this track because the beat is not backing up what he's saying in the right way. It's not giving this right tone to the beat on here, right? Next track on here, Talk It Back featuring Fat Joe. Listen, I have a love-hate relationship with Fat Joe. Like, just straight off the rip. And anytime I hear Fat Joe spit just straight up and down, I'd be like, Armageddon didn't write that. Like, Pun didn't write that. You feel me? And if you're familiar with all the things that go on with Fat Joe, you will understand why I'm saying those things to me. This is like, yo, dog, we could have did without Fat Joe on this project. He didn't do anything with his verse on here. He wasn't a standout. He's not a standout on this project, whatever have you. But the track overall is hard. But Benny could have carried this track by himself on here. He didn't need to feature on here. Next track on here, No Instructions. And Benny says on this track, this flow right here, I was first to find it. And it's like, as he's saying this and his flow is kicking to me, automatically think of like his flow on a track like Crowns for Kings, where it's unequivocally him and he's spitting and he's giving you this flow. So kind of got me a flashback vibe between the two projects on there. That's my own. He ain't alluding to none of that shit on there. That's just how my mind was working when I was hearing this joint. All right, next track on here, Longevity featuring French Montana. Pockets poking out like Kim's ass. Now, this is really, 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 like, really snaky ass bar, considering everything that he's been through with the Kardashian family over there and stuff like that. But y'all have the fucking nerve to say that this is a hot verse. When this dog, he really sounds like I don't know what, he's off a cup of Lean Strong. He's like literally slurring into this verse, like slurring his words into this verse. Nothing sharp about it. Some witty parts in here. His verse was way too long for me because he was dragging everything out. You feel me? I don't want to give him no pass on here at all. Period. So for y'all to be like the verse was hot or he didn't fuck up the song or whatever, how fucking dare you? How dare you? This shit was garbage. All right. Next track on here, Survivor's Remorse featuring Rick Hyde. We already know what's going on with Rick right over there. BSF Soprano Family. Let's go. Him and him. This was really, really dope. It's a really, really dope beat switch on this track as well. I really, really appreciated that on here. Benny. I kept my foot on their necks right where it's supposed to be over this Harry Fraud shit like the Ghost of Chink. So, he's playing into the fact that he has this verse on here from Chinks and he's embodying his spirit, just like Harry Fraud and Chinks and all of these people that really, really work together a lot. I don't know how that fucking went over you guys' heads. And it's crazy because sometimes I just sit back and you just know what you know. And ever since I've been in this media shit, I've been refraining from just making valid points online too, because a lot of content creators, they got the time to go and do shit before me. So they'll go and look at my tweets and then say the shit before me. Nobody don't fucking talk like me. Nobody don't do this shit like me, and ain't nobody as knowledgeable as me in this shit. Yes, nigga, let's go. All right, last track on here, Thanksgiving. This track kind of leaked out before. Again, Benny just spitting and just being like real. So it's crazy because the beats on Burden of Proof is way better. The beats on Plugs I Met 1 is way better. I don't think this was a real organic process. I can't sit there and say that this was a real organic process. Now, I don't know what their process was. I don't know if they was physically in the studio with each other. I don't know how many beats did Benny pick and pick out and stuff like that. Because if Benny picked out these beats, he picked some of the most like just repetitive, like loop wise beats on here, whatever, and that shit, we just used a little bit more depth when it comes down to the production on here. But he is spitting. I will never take that away from him at all. And I kind of caught myself doing this with saying, Benny's not hungry no more, until I really start to listen to it. And then I was like, no, he's talking like he's still out here fucking starving, even though he's telling you he's not. But the beats ain't making him as gritty as he appears to be, like he was in the past. So I hope y'all understand what I'm saying when I'm telling you that. I don't know. I hope Benny puts out another project really, really fast, something just a little bit more cohesive. I don't know like what he would do next in this series, like Plugs I Met 3 or whatever have you. But he should have gave us the same type of production in retrospect. Now, I was all for this project before it dropped, because I fuck with Harry Fraud. I don't have a problem with Harry Fraud's production. He does what he does. And if you know that whole Miami sound and all of that stuff he used to align with Benny for Plugs I Met 2 project, didn't sound far off for me. It didn't sound bad for me. But in a couple of these instances where Benny's talking that gritty shit and that real shit that he spit, we needed some real gritty and some real shit to back up those bars on this album. But I'm about to get out of here. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know what is your favorite feature on here. Let me know what is your favorite track on here and what is your favorite beat. But Meta Money, you can follow me on Twitter and IG at Meta Money Says. That's MADAMMONEYSAYS. As always, I'll be seeing you guys around.
Ready, steady, aim at the target. I'm flooding the market, a break from the garbage. An artist, sensitive about mind pardon. No margin for error, flawless be rarer. The black cat goddess, you walking with a panther. Painting these pictures with words like Samantha MacGyver. Alchemy on the track, make it lava. And I won't stop rocking till I retire. Singular or plural, she break numero uno. Colder than you know.